Hi, everyone. Welcome to the March 23rd Arts and Culture Commission meeting. It is currently 6:30 p.m. and I call the meeting to order. Now I'll pass it off to John for roll call.
Chair, let me see, I don't remember if you do the roll call, but
Oh,
Sorry.
Commissioner Chen,
Yeah.
Commissioner Panda. For the record, Commissioner Panda is absent. Commissioner Aurora,
Yes.
Vice Chair Lamba,
yes,
Chair Wang.
Yes. All right. Moving on to approval of minutes. The subject is approval of the January 26th, 2026 Arts and Culture Commission meeting minutes. The recommended action is to approve the minutes.
I can make the motion to approve the.
I second it.
Okay, we'll do a roll call vote. Commissioner Chen. Commissioner Panda is absent. Commissioner Aurora,
Aye.
Vice Chair Lamba,
Yes,
Chair Wang.
Aye.
The motion carries unanimously.
Okay, moving on to oral communications. This portion of the meeting is reserved for persons wishing to address the commission on any matter within the jurisdiction of the commission and not on the agenda. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. In most cases, state law will prohibit the commission from making any decisions with respect to a matter not on the agenda. Do we have any oral communications?
No.
Moving on to written communications. Do we have any? Okay. And then seeing as there is no old business, moving right along to new business. Agenda item number 2, subject architectural and site approval ASA 2026-5. To consider a public art installation for Bianchi Way Townhomes. Applicant, Mr. Lian Hu, property owner, location, 170, 172, 174, 176, and 178 Bianchi Way. APN 35907-021. Recommended action. Staff recommends that the Art and Culture Commission approve the public art application for Bianchi Way Townhomes, subject to conditions of the draft resolution. Now I hand it over to staff.
yeah, thank you, Chair Long. Let me introduce Daniel Condit. She's an associate planner in the community development department. She has been the project manager for the Bianchi Townhome development since they came in a number of years ago. She will present the staff report as written and as noticed, as well as going through the findings required of that the commission will need to make in order to approve or not approve the art piece. The part of this presentation will kind of give a brief background as to the Arts and Culture Commission's authority in reviewing these art projects and what the findings are again and criteria and whatnot. With that being said, I'll pass on to Ms. Condit for her presentation.
Great, everyone. Good evening, Chair, Vice Chair, Commissioners. As John stated, my name is Danielle Condit. I'm an Associate Planner here with the City of Cupertino. Today, we have an architectural site approval application for the installation of public art at the Bianchi Town Development. The Bianchi Townhome Development consists of 7 new townhomes. dispersed within two buildings on site. Each townhome is approximately 2,400 square feet, totaling approximately 16,800 square feet in new construction. And per 19-148-020, any development of 10,000 square feet or larger is subject to public art. The public art is proposed on site in the northwest corner of the parcel adjacent to the public sidewalk. You can see the area circled in blue on the screen. The Arabesque Libra was created by Amelia Tang. The art piece is approximately 5.5 feet, stainless steel sculpture, and it's placed on a 1.5 foot concrete pedestal. And it is located within the landscaping of the building's front yard setback. The Arabesque Libra is a sculpture piece and is considered consistent with 19-148-030 permitted artwork forms in Cupertino. What is not considered artwork for the public arts chapter are reproductions of original works of art, directional or functional elements such as directional signage, art objects which are mass produced, and landscaping and garden features that aren't incorporated with. So. The project's construction valuation is assessed at approximately 6.3 million. 1% of the construction value would equate to approximately 63,000. The proposed artworks design, fabrication, and installation have assessed at a cost of approximately 65,000. The value would comply with the standards outlined in 19-148-070 minimum artwork value. The art piece appears to meet the design criteria outlined in 19-48060. The art piece is located within development's landscape with a front yard setback and is located in an area specifically designated on the site plan. It's been solidified with the public access easement that's been reported on the final map. The art piece is visible from the public street to both motorists and pedestrians and is fabricated from stainless steel, a durable, long-lasting material. So with that, staff recommends the commission approve the public art application, subject to the conditions of the draft resolutions. And we do have a presentation from our applicant team. I'll go ahead and get her presentation up on the screen.
If I may, Ms. Condit, does the commission have any questions at this point for staff as to the process, the ordinance or anything?
Yeah, so I think this will be our first public art review with the current commission members. So please, anyone, if you have any clarifying questions, please share.
Sorry, I have a clarifying question, but maybe I spoke over somebody.
Vice Chair, go ahead. We can go around the room.
Okay, thank you. So one question for the developers and the city is is there a plaque next to this piece with attribution to the artist, like the name of the piece and the artist's name? Is that included in the plan?
So through the chair, vice chair, I guess this portion was. I asked a question if there's a question about the process specifically.
Oh,
Do you
okay.
want to withhold your question until the artist give presentation? So I guess is there a question about the process, the findings, not necessarily about the art piece at this point?
Got it. I'll hold off the question.
Yeah. Yes.
It's a process question that is related to the previous presentation. So just to note down, what is the full project cost? You mentioned it, but
I heard 6.3 million.
is that
correct?
Yeah.
Right, so it's 63,800,000.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, let me go back up here. It is, 6,384,385 I did give approximates in the presentation, just to kind of round the numbers a little
And
bit.
that's okay. So, 6.3 million.
Correct.
Okay, so our allocation is normally the 1%. Percent,
So what the value,
Comes out to 63,000.
63,000.
so the application
Approximately.
quoted 65,500 to be spent.
Yeah, with that 1 point, maybe. no,
Yes, slightly more. It comes-
Slightly more, but yeah, I'm still looking at order of magnitude, so that's how that number came, right? Yeah, okay, so that's, and, also, just to clarify, you said it's proposed to be located.
Correct, it's gonna be located within the front setback.
Okay, where you showed on with that green square.
Yeah.
You showed it.
It's gonna have to be like, just so we
Is
can
it
have.
possible to spend, to understand that? Is that okay?
Yeah. I
Okay,
think that's fine.
so where is, Stevens Creek?
It's north of this and we're, the.
Much
blue
further away.
arrow Is north, sorry, the blue circle is the north side of the lot, so it'd be further north of that.
Okay, and that is, a sidewalk there above on top of the drawing? Is that the sidewalk?
It is adjacent to the new public sidewalk, correct?
Okay, what's to the left? What street is that?
Yankee Way.
Oh, that is BMP Way.
Yeah, that is the street itself.
Yeah.
So this is actually within the front of the property.
And that location was selected based on?
In that it's accessible from the public right of way,
Yeah, and that's the criteria.
and visible from the public right of way, so it meets those design criteria. That's part of the selection and thought out process.
And some clarification, as you mentioned, Danielle, that there's already an access easement on that side to allow undisturbed access from the public to view the artwork. So
This is saying that was in the report, right?
The public access is made.
Yeah, this is drawing. That's what refers to. Okay, thank you for,
Do we have any other questions, clarifying questions about the material that has been presented?
Picture showed. The steel.
Seeing none, why don't we move forward with the presentation?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Amelia Tang. And I just want to go over like a quick brief introduction about myself before I introduce this artwork. I have just been graduated by a couple years and I graduated from Cal Poly Pomona studying visual communication design. Currently, I am working at an interior design as an interior design artist, specializing in more of the design aspect rather than the layout aspect. And then I also work for a construction company, work close with them to design any private commissions that they receive for any artwork. And then let me introduce the artwork. For the title of the artwork, I titled it Arabesque Libre. Arabesque taken from the dance term from which I was inspired by the dance culture here of arabesque, a pose where one is typically stretched out on one leg And then libre meaning free. I wanted to also expand past the term of arabesque rather than just being confined, like typical ballet is a bit more confined. Arabesque also has roots in a art style where it's also pretty very symmetrical, very strict, uniform type of style. So it's also taken inspiration of that. I want to expand past. I've also taken a look at the a proposed plan for the building where it has more modern type of aspects. So I wanted to lean towards more of an abstract kind of look. Let's see. The work also draws from my experience as dance and travel. I've danced here at Cupertino from ever since I was growing up, probably since I was 3, all the way, and I've performed annually at the De Anza College Theater. I wanted to draw my experience and also present that as a thanks for having brought up my passion in the arts. Rather than representing movement literally, the sculpture distills into elongated lines, shifting from forms and suggest gestures, flow, and directional energy. The sense of movement also informs how this structure sits within Bianchi Way as a public sidewalk. It has movement there. You'll see it often. It stands at 7 feet tall and should around 7 feet tall, should be about like 4 by 4 in the, at least from what I've designed. So it will still be public and visible for the public view, but also not too doesn't stand out too much to distract from any buildings or any important roadways that nearby. The material selected is a standard classical stainless steel. It plays an important role in supporting like the visual experience and also the long-term performance of the piece. It will create a subtle reflection of the light rather than a polished stainless steel for the reason. So it will to not take away from the building itself, but also bring a sense of, or reflect a sense of the surrounding environment. For my background in design, fabrication, I chose this material also because of its durability. It's classical, it's used everywhere, something where most people understand what the material will do. And in terms of long-term care, the material also allows like straightforward maintenance and approach. You will need routine cleaning with mild soap and water, along with inspections, periodic inspections to prevent and preserve the structure. The maintenance strategy is intentionally minimal and aligns with project's long-term care requirements. Provisions for ongoing maintenance are incorporated in the overall project's budget and reflected in the CCNRs, ensuring that the artwork remains a well-maintained permanent asset over time. Overall, Arabesque Libre is intended to enhance the site by introducing moment of movement and reflection into the building environment through its form, material placements, and invites viewers from it from multiple perspectives while remaining durable, buildable, and integrated into the surroundings. Thank you.
Right, thank you so much for the presentation. So I guess let's start with any clarifying questions. So we'll go around the room. So any clarifying questions, please share now. And then after we're done with clarifying questions, then we will move on to discussion. So we don't need to get into this discussion now. Please focus on clarifying questions only. Can we start with Vice Chair Lamba?
No clarifying questions. Thank you. I think it's great.
Then Commissioner Aurora, any questions?
Yeah, I have a I think it's minor. The base
Yes.
pedestal, is that also steel? Or is that another material?
I think what I've discussed with the builders is that it's probably gonna be a stainless steel base, at least to cover, but there will be supports inside.
And then, could you tell us a little bit more about how you plan to fabricate this piece?
Yes, so I'm working closely with the designer, more of like a structural designer, from overseas, and also we have a person over here, that I remain in contact with, and then I work with them for choosing the materials. They'll send me samples for the materials, and then I'll work with them in terms of final structure. I'll probably also take it this way too.
I guess, what are the names, what's the
Oh.
name of the entity that would actually be doing the building?
Um. hmm, Yeah,
Is the one.
yeah. So I'm working with Pen Tiger Construction, PEN Tiger Construction.
Then, I guess, do you have any examples of structures that they've created?
I don't have it on hand. Yeah, I could ask for some.
That's myself. Commissioner Shannon? Any questions?
Yes. I like to know your statues already made, not just AI shows.
Yes, I made it with 3D, so I made it with Blender. What is it? I think some of the photos I just took from online, like the background images, so I don't know.
I can put the AI together. Do you know the size, actual size?
What I designed it for is 7 feet by
7.
4, yeah.
Are you sure your base is strong enough to hold those statues? So
That's what I was in discussion for, so they'll probably do, I believe, if I remember correctly, like a structure sunk into the floor with a covering that surrounds the actual structure for support.
it looks small, and also you need some seconds on the base, right? You can be now in enough space. And also it's for dancer, right?
Yes.
Statues. And maybe you intend to do the dancer, it looks
Yeah.
like late, too short. Maybe you want to be like.
I did want to go a bit more abstract.
How long will it take to complete the design?
Current time frame. You mean designing the artwork or the actual sculpture? The actual sculpture. Leave 2 to 3 months, I think.
Has it started already?
Not yet. Yeah.
And how much cost is estimated for that?
Estimated
The budgeting, how much price is suggested? Invoice?
for the entire thing was like 63,000, right?
Yes.
And then I do have a breakdown. But
Yes, I have it pulled up.
Yes.
Answer.
Uh-huh.
So the artwork design is listed as 12,000. The artwork fabrication is listed as 39,000. Installation is listed as 14,500.
So total of around,
65,500.
thank you.
Chairman Wang, I do have a clarifying question. My apologies.
Please, go ahead.
So Amelia, the lower portion that's like maybe the left leg abstracted,
yeah.
how high approximately is that tip of the foot? Sorry, the pointed tip.
Probably around like 4 feet, I'm guessing.
So the reason for my question was, I want to make sure there's some safety there, because it's
Mm.
kind of pointed and a little low. if somebody runs into it, have you thought about that? Or maybe have some space around the sculpture when it's installed so that one doesn't walk into it?
Yeah, I could adjust the sculpture a bit. I think I haven't given too much thought on that. So I think what I could do, I could accommodate by raising it a bit. I also probably need to strengthen the base. So that would probably increase the height a bit more than what it's currently displayed as.
Yeah, something to think about to make sure that it's not a safety issue, given it's a little pointed. You could even curve it in a little bit, but I'm gonna not give suggestions. I'm not an expert in that. But do consider that in the installation part.
I'll take that into consideration. Thank you.
One thing to clarify, what is the content that you intend to put on the base? This-
I don't have any specific thing in mind. Probably just like something like artist name and then probably the art piece's name. Maybe a simple debrief, but I don't really have anything right in mind at the moment.
If I may, I would encourage you to put your name on it. Artist attribution is very important.
A follow-up question. Can you maybe just
Yes.
for the staff, what is the timeline for the project itself? The townhomes?
Townhomes?
Well, the
Okay.
building permits have been issued. Actually, Mr. Leon, would have a more in-depth knowledge on where you are on finishing the project. Is there an estimated timeline on?
Estimate the completion probably by August at the latest. There was the plan. Right now, we are right on time.
Around that time, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So, thank you. And so the 2 to 3 months that just mentioned for the RP, that's right around now. Right? We are in, yeah, March, April, May, June. So you have some time.
But it takes time, for us to order the material.
Yes.
Yeah, and shipping, it takes forever. Logistic is not very smooth right now. So, I appreciate, can give us a comment.
Yes,
So we can get any correction if necessary.
yes,
So we can, make sure our working installed securely with the concrete base, with the steel bar and the ground. All those installation need to be rescheduled.
yeah,
Those are all.
yeah, very much so. Yeah, yeah, thank you.
A question for staff. Can you remind us, is there a requirement or what are the implications of the art piece being completed and when the property can be, I guess, officially opened? Like, is there a requirement that the art piece needs to be installed and completed before the project is?
So similar to Westport and any other project that has on-site art pieces, that the final occupancy of the last unit is subject to the completion of the art piece.
The last unit.
Last unit.
Okay.
You take a pretty liberal interpretation on that, just accompanying for delays.
Okay, any other clarifying questions from the commission?
So I might have missed this. Is the location of this installation decided in the area?
It's located in the
Yes.
corner of the lot.
Where exactly begin tenants?
Right, of the site. So it's located off of Bianchi Way, the street itself, and it's located in the northwest corner, which if you were to continue going north up past the blue circle, that would be Stevens Creek Boulevard. Thank you.
Okay. Seeing no other questions, I'd like to close clarifying questions and now open for public comment. Do we have any public comments?
We have no speakers, Chair.
All right,
I have one more question. I think it's better review together with any nomination on the base and what's the base material. Definitely, you cannot make a steel. Has to be some kind of stone, marble, granite, somehow. You better to show them together with your statues. We have to review together.
Yes, yeah. I'll take any suggestions.
Yeah, we have to review together. See, I just did today for the landmark with everything.
Yes.
Has to be whole piece.
okay. Before we go into discussions, I also want to thank you, Amelia and Leon, for being here today. Thank you so much for the presentation. It's not every day that we get to actually meet the artists, creating the work, that we are reviewing. So thank you so much for being here and thank you for sharing your art with
Really
us.
Thank you guys for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, now I'd like to open it up for a discussion amongst the commissioners, limited to the scope of the item. Let's go one at a time. I'll go in the same order as before. So, Vice Chair, do you have any comments, that you'd like to share?
I think it's a beautiful piece. It's consistent with a few other steel public art on Stevens Creek. If you just drive down, but it's unique enough that it makes an impact. When Amelia walked us through what's really this thing is an abstraction of, it really pops. And hence my opinion that we should ensure that the name of the art piece and the artist is always visible close by. When you say arabesque, people who know dance get it right away. So thank you. Back to you, Chairman Wang.
Okay, Commissioner Laura, any comments?
Yeah, thank you. So also want to really appreciate the staff in collaboration with the building team and the artists for bringing this proposal. I also really want to commend that we have, as we say, a local artist that was part of our, probably even a written requirement, or definitely an intended desire to have a local artist when we are doing public art pieces in Cupertino. So I'm very happy about that. Thank you for sharing that introduction. What you shared about the sculpture itself, also really inspiring, but also quite evident. So the libre I like very much. I could see it's a dancer. So I love art that can come very commonly even to just the public. And you said very rightly, arts and culture and dance and music is a very strong part of our community, and we really enjoy and appreciate. So it's a really good representation also of our community around. The one question I have, I know Vice Chair Lam also alluded a little bit to it. I was wondering, in terms of safety point of view, how sharp are those edges? More for the younger, for adult, I was concerned, but
Yeah.
I don't know how sharp that is, and normally I'm going to answer stuff. Is it our public art pieces? They should be okay to touch, right, through the public, or are they secured? How are they?
I think most of the art pieces that I've seen are, some of them kids climb on them. I mean, they're very interactive.
Yeah, yes. That's what,
Ground and.
yeah, exactly. So, to also the Vice Chair's point, in general, it needs to be super safe. And that's the sharp someday it just got me concerned. Not poke somebody's eye, or even hand. My children are so innocent, they do anything. I wouldn't, but they would. But you may have already thought of it, and this is just a drawing or a 3D. But you may have already thought of it. Is there something that you want to?
Yeah, I think as I've brought up earlier with the vice chair's question earlier, I think we'll probably raise the height of the limbs a bit, or the abstract limbs. And then also, yeah, so it is a bit sharp. The realistically it's probably gonna be a bit rounder than what I designed.
While still obviously conveying your artistic, creativity. It's not fair to comment on that. And we are only commenting on the public safety point of view and, yeah, okay. Yeah, and I had one more, if I may.
Yeah.
You did mention it is not the shiny steel, or that's some word you use maybe, which is good. Still my question is there any, will it have strong reflection on sunny days, on very bright days?
I feel like steel I think is always bound to have some reflection, especially if there is going to be any sharper corners. You'll probably see a bit, but the brush steel is,
Brush steel.
yes, brush steel is, the purpose of it is just to tone down the reflectiveness by.
Okay, yeah, because I'm sure you were dealing
Yeah.
with
Mhm.
material choices based on a lot of this, so a question may be redundant, but I have to ask. I've already thought of it, so, but I just wanted to ask, it just occurred to me that, but I think as you said, brush steel, that gives it a more calm finish, yeah, okay, thank you, that was it, Chair. Thank you so much.
Commissioner Chen, any discussion points?
Appreciate any local artist to develop the artwork to our community. I really appreciate.
I was just curious because this is such a beautiful and I appreciate local, but how was it selected? I might be ignorant. I would like to know that what was the contest, how was it selected and why did we choose this art piece? It's just a curiosity.
It was, yeah, it was a lot inspired by my background in Korean, well, like my connection to Cupertino art. I did go through several drafts going more abstract, but I felt like having too much of an abstract piece.
No, I pause a little bit. My question is like, how was it open to public and how was this as an artist, as an art piece? Where was the pool and how was it selected from that pool? Maybe I'm not aware. So I would like to know how was it open to the public and how was it selected?
You, as an artist, as myself, or
I think more for the developer. How did you
Yeah.
choose it?
Well, first of all, I saw some of his artwork. And and also, he make some interior design for me, which is very impressive. That's why I should design the art piece for me.
So was it open to public for any other applications? Thank you. And but it's great, amazing. It's very nice, beautiful. Yes.
But I was figured big, very valid question. So I'm going to go back to the staff. Is it the final, and just want to again clarify and just confirm, for all of us, is as the builder has responsibility for the construction, the quality, obviously reviewed through the city and the guidelines and the building codes and everything, how is the responsibility of the safety and the production and the installation of the art piece? Is it also with the builder?
Yes, so I mean, this has to go through a building permit process. So it has to go through fire department's review, it has to go through, structural with our building division, our engineers, as well as public works,
Yes.
as well as, Danielle will probably look at this for conformity to whatever conditions the commission might place on this, as well as the design intent. Like, for example, this is gonna be 8 feet tall, I believe, from
Yeah.
7 feet. You know, if the artist shows up with a 4 foot tall art piece, as an example, that's non-conforming. Everything's gonna have to be, there's actually another level of approval after this as well.
Yeah.
So,
So just like the building and that review and approval process is very strict guidelines. This piece is also goes through the same, so that the safety and the installation and everything.
engineering, this has to be engineered as
Yeah.
well. Any of the art piece has to be
Yes.
engineered for wind factors and.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. So that is the confirmation, I think, is because it's not up to us to review the structural piece of it. It is, I expect more the artistic piece of it
Right.
and how it fits into our community. That's
Right.
Well, I mean, if I may add, I'm reading the resolution that established the public art requirement in the first place. And one of the criteria that is listed in determining whether an artwork is acceptable includes public liability. It says each artwork shall be examined and approved for safety conditions and factors which may bear upon public liability. So I guess on that note, I mean, is there an engineering review and check for public liability by a member of city staff
Correct.
at a later date?
Yeah, so that's part of the building permit process. So we have plan check engineers in our building division that will review this. And not only for, public safety is, of course, one of the charges of this, of this ordinance, but also accessibility, ADA. So as this is through a pedestrian easement, and make sure those who are disabled can get the same access to someone who is more pedestrian.
So the artwork is required by the city or volunteer to do by the owner
Required.
city. So city has to have final inspection,
Correct.
not only check the safety, but also check the quality.
Correct.
I'll share my 2 cents. First of all, I really appreciate your presentation. I think it's fantastic that we have a local artist building a piece of art for the city of Cupertino. That said, I'm feeling a little bit hesitant to approve the proposal as is. Just because I feel like there's a couple of points that have been flagged by the commission that I would like to see a little bit more detail on. I mean, I think the safety is one consideration that has been brought up a number of times. I think the exact material and plan for the base structure, that was something that was mentioned. I think at least from my side, so one line item, one criteria is also technical feasibility. So each proposed artwork shall be examined for convincing evidence of the artist's ability to successfully complete the artwork as proposed. I noticed in I guess the portfolio shared, those are renderings, not actual fabricated art. So I would like to see, I guess, examples of fabricated sculptures, if not by you, by the builder that you're working with, to at least to give me a little bit more confidence and a little bit more flavor of the execution of said structure. So just that's kind of my 2 cents at this point.
So it is within the commission's charge to, as this, this is one of the 2 commissions in the city that actually has approval authority rather than recommending authority to council. Danielle provided a resolution with condition of approval. If the commission would like, as part of their motion, you could add a conditional approval, saying we approve this subject to a certain safety thing. So as an example, you brought up the pointiness or the sharpness and stuff, a few of the features maybe reflect that concern in the condition of approval to modify design. this commission has done that in the past with certain art pieces, particularly emergence. There were some conditions, added conditions, design condition approvals that added on to staff's recommendation. So that's just kind of a reminder of anything you want to add to this as part of the motion.
Any other thoughts or comments? I guess just to be clear, at the end of our discussion here, we need to have a decision on how we would like to proceed. So I guess I'd love to hear others' thoughts on how we should proceed.
So as you suggested, that there has to be inspection by an engineer, but that means our decision is not yet ready. Let the decision from the inspectors, engineers come, because there is the primary result.
Sure.
So our result cannot be, contingent, because we cannot even decide till they have that's my 2 cents. So when we get that result, it's safe, secure, everything is done, then we can have any other contingency. But now, if we decide on a few contingencies that it will be considered as accepted, just minus these things. But my suggestion is we don't have the authority to decide till the inspection is completed from the safety point of view. My suggestion.
I mean, people know how it works. Sorry, but you typically you can approve a design and then it's it's conditioned. It will get reviewed by an engineer to ensure it's to be done. So
I may, Amelia and Mr. Hugh, they will submit a building permit application. Packet with the proposed design along with the engineering behind it, and building department is going to look at the engineering behind the structure to make sure that's securely installed into the ground. And then it will be looked at fire as well as back to building pedestrian friendly elements of the aspect. And my job is to be looking at the structure to make sure it still matches what's coming in, and basically the structural engineering has to reflect the architectural engineering. So it would be a part of that approval process, and then whatever is approved, the inspectors are going to be looking at that in the field to make sure that the materials are being followed and what's been approved, as well as I'll be doing an inspection to make sure it looks as it's been presented in the plans. If that helps clarify things.
May I add a comment here, Chair Wang? We could do a conditional approval based on successful safety review by the appropriate city departments, specifically on edges and tips safety and solid base for the art piece. Those two are the ones that I've heard being brought up. I assume this is part of the process, but I think it's appropriate for the commission to flag these as needing possibly special attention. Thank you.
May I ask the question?
So if I could go, condition 5 of the resolution kind of goes with that. Consultation with other departments, and the applicant is responsible to consult with other departments or agencies with regard to the proposed project. So that would mean, and that's all encompassing condition of approval, which would include the building division, fire department, as well as public works. And then number 4 as well. So 4 and 5 are kind of like those two conditions of approval that are already in the resolution.
Sorry, what 4 and 5 are you referring to?
Oh, the conditions of approval on in the resolution.
Yeah, action 1.
So John, you were stating that the resolution already has reviews by appropriate city departments as a condition.
Correct. So if you go to the, Danielle, attachment 1, I believe, the
Yeah.
draft resolution, conditions 4 and 5.
Resolution from the staff. So 5 and 6 here, consultations over the software, 6. Demolition requirement, you said 5 and 6?
4 and 5.
Oh, sorry, yeah, 4, building and 5.
Were you like here? There's four? Or was it from here?
Actually, I realized we didn't go through the resolution. Can you present on that real fast, just the proposed conditions?
Sure. You want to do that, Danielle? Well, I wouldn't, I mean, if you want to just,
Highlight.
yeah, or are you able to show them on the screen?
Yeah. Thank you so much for doing it.
You know, John, you're right. So item number 8 says not injurious to property or improvements to public health, safety, general welfare, and so on.
We'll just start with the condition. Let's, through the chair, where do you want to start on this?
Yeah, could you
for the
just
conditions?
basically go through all of the conditions?
So, condition 1 is approval of the exhibits, which is the approval packet. Condition 2 is accuracy of the project plans. That the conditions of approval will be followed in condition 3. Building code and fire, building and fire code will be, the public art will be reviewed by them and approved. As well as consultation with other departments such as public works. Condition 5. Demolition requirements, which is actually more of the overall project site, which was the demolition of the initial structures and then building is the proposed townhome development. And then we have standard dust control measures that are typical that we include when you have any sort of improvements on site and that the site will be watered daily to help control the dust. This is again more so related to the demolition of the existing structure and the improvements on site, but it's something we include in all conditions of approval. Exterior building materials and treatments. The building exterior shall, again, this is more closely to the existing building. And something that we typically include. The artwork, condition 9 is something that was brought up earlier, which is the identification plate where you have the 8x8 plaque that's going to be installed. Permanent installation of the art piece, which it discusses that the art is permanent in nature. We have required this in the final map and that there's actually a public easement dedicated on site for the public art itself, but it's also recorded in the CCNRs. Ongoing maintenance of the art piece is condition 11. Duplication, and that the artist will not duplicate the art piece. Condition 13 is a lighting plan. This would be a part of the building permit review and that I would be looking at it for compliance with our dark sky measures, which you can see in condition 14. Public access to the artwork goes back to our conditions of, goes back to our public access easement on the map. This is again relating to the overall project for any sort of demolition, grading, construction activities. The artwork is a part of, construction activities and will follow our typical hours and notice regulations that we require in Cupertino. Again, typical conditions of approval for landscape project with submittal. The art piece is located within the landscape area, so we want to make sure that the landscape that's approved as a part of the overall project is still in compliance and it won't be altered by the art piece. So these are general conditions that we've our resolutions. Those are probably the rest. That has to do with the art piece itself. We have general conditions of approval that we have that related to 1704, which is we have a tree nearby, try not to disturb any nesting birds. That is really it.
And then just a clarification, at which stage or which condition would involve engineering drawings for this piece being submitted and reviewed by staff?
4 and 5, or 5, was it 4 and 5 and 5 or 6? Not,
Okay, 4 and 5, then.
building and fire code.
Okay, yeah, I mean, with these conditions, I feel much more comfortable.
Chairman Wang, may I request that we display the resolution, the proposed resolution, because that is what we are approving, right? And specifically item number 8.
Right?
The draft resolution.
You mean above, right?
Was it condition number 8?
There's a document that was attached called attachment 8 draft resolution.
Right.
Okay, and if you scroll down to
Finding
bullet
8,
item-
I think it's looking for finding 8, so if you go to, because you're talking about the proposal at the proposed location.
Yeah. Finding 8 versus condition 8. So he's asking about finding 8.
Okay.
Okay, this one. So the response here to this item number says it will not be detrimental to public health, safety, and so on. So I guess the discomfort here is this is a resolution that the commission is going to approve or not approve. And it's not clear that we are satisfied that the safety related review happened black and white. Now, if there is a place that it says that the appropriate department did look at safety, that's great. If not, then I would at least want this as a conditional approval that the safety review happened by city staff.
Yeah, I think that's a great catch, Vice Chair. If we approve this resolution as written, it's basically saying that we as a commission are not proposing any modification.
Exactly. So I am concerned that we as a commission are saying, hey, we are satisfied, but we are not. And maybe we are being extra cautious here, but I think in this case, given that the edges and the pointy parts, at least to the normal observer, does raise a concern. I think an extra step is really not all that onerous and it's probably appropriate.
So through the chair, if I can make a recommendation, we can add a conditional approval that's typically titled design modifications. And in that initial approval, the commission can say, we approve this design with these certain modifications. This commission has done this before with emergence. There were some design modification having to do with the look of making the structure more feminine looking. I think that was a modification that the commission made at the time. And I think that, this is why we have conditions of approval that, you're presented with an art piece and as, the vice chair brought up, we can conditionally approve the design subject to certain design modifications. So with this added conditional approval, you can say, could and again, the commission will need to come up with the language itself. But if I'm hearing there's concern about the pointiness, the edginess of the art piece, because it could, I don't know, poke an eye out, possibly. If someone gets too close to it, there's maybe too much of interaction. Could some of the pointed art pieces rounded, or is there a way to maybe separate the public from the art piece with a small fence around it so as not to be too interactive with it? I mean, this is the discussion that the commission will need to have if that's the direction where you're going, and that should be part of your motion.
May I say?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so I think overall, what we heard from all the commissioners, we like the concept of the design. There's been some concerns on the implementation in terms of the pedestal and the safety on some of those elements. I think the design was liked by all. And I also feel that we need to be 100% confident. I won't again, I hear the same thing. Is that also an option to give a conditional approval, and we find the right language on what we all agree on? And then does it come back to the Arts Culture Commission, or what happens next?
It's conditionally approved, so which means it does not come back. So what you would do is make your conditions. You would say, if you want a complete redesign of the art piece, then we could say, yes, it would come back. So as an example, with the Jollyman Park art piece, the commission had some serious design modifications.
Yeah.
So it was something that was beyond staff to interpret the will of the commission. If it's a slight modification like emergence, where it was like, okay, we just want maybe more of a rounded figure, or in this case, possibly, maybe take off the pointiness of some of the lower portions of the art piece, then I would recommend to the commission that that's something that you can easily condition that staff, we feel comfortable with that interpretation.
Because that's definitely one scenario,
Yeah.
the one option. Or the other option would. So that we do get the chance to read. It's just an option. And what would be the downside of that? We discuss it as, what do we all feel? Maybe if Chairman, you want to see if how far we are all feeling, where is our comfort level? I think that we probably all feel that the minimum comfort level is some.
I support that.
If I may, yeah, so thank you for, summarizing our discussion so far, totally agree. I think that's what is the downside of bringing it back to the commission? That's kind of what I was getting at with my question earlier about trying to understand the implications of approval timing. So it sounds like really the only timing consideration is that art piece needs to be completed before the last unit is occupied. In my opinion, I feel like that's gives us time for one more loop. But that was my interpretation of the situation.
So timing wise, the next meeting is May 18th. And I believe in May, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm trying to work off memory here. We introduced the Arts Awards that night. Is that true? Or is it July?
Sorry, what's the?
The artist, we started the discussion on the artist. So the theme was,
Given that the actual event happens in October, or
I could look right now.
I feel like July, I feel like that might be a July topic. Maybe the year past, we did it in May because we had a lot of new commissioners. So we wanted to have an intro discussion first.
Correct. No, it was in July. You're right. Yeah, May of last year, we had SV creates and study session, so. Okay,
Yeah, so I think. Am I accurate in saying the two options that Commissioner Aurora is what we're circling around? So one is approving conditionally with a design modification. And the second is to request the team to bring it back for another review in May.
correct. So if you take the second option, my recommendation is be very detailed as to what you want to see. So as the artist knows, what modifications you'd like to see.
Given these two options on the table, I guess can we go around the room to share where each individual is landing? I'll start with you, Vice Chair.
You know, I'm concerned that we are not the experts on the safety aspect. You know, how much it's edgy, how much is that pointy, and how much is that a hazard? So for either of the options, you know, suppose we say, okay, for the second option, here's what we want to see. We are effectively being engineers and safety experts. Somewhere we need the smart engineering staff at the city to assess whether we are barking up a wrong tree here or there's a real concern, and they need to say, okay, here's modifications that allay that concern. So my apologies, I'm not picking one of these two. That's still an open question to me.
Thank you.
May I ask a design question? I did have it earlier. It's not given. May I ask you, were there other material choices that you had thought about?
Not so much for the actual figure itself, but we did go into consideration for other materials for the base. I know we've discussed having it out of concrete, but then I do know we kind of rejected just normal concrete because that probably won't just concrete probably won't completely sustain the actual weight of the structure. So
So I had to, thank you. So my response to the pedestal is I'm less concerned about it because I think that's a structural engineering decision. And if we point that out, that's with that condition, I fully think there are others that are suited to make that decision. So that's, I'm kind of splitting the two parts now. So I'm saying the pedestal for me is a decision I would leave to the engineers and the structural engineers.
Yes,
And that's not me to decide whether it's safe or not.
yes.
So I'm okay giving, absolutely asking somebody else and appreciating that it can be done by staff and the process. So that part is, I'm okay with it. The other part, I think we have indicated where the concern is. Just on the sharpness, and I think the artists understand this, so I think we could work with the staff, unless we think the design is going to be so changed that proceed again. So that's where I am. Not too uncomfortable, but I think the pedestal, I'm quite happy to make it as part of the condition. at least I found that.
I like to say, our job is to reveal piece of artwork. For safety, for planning, landscaping installation should be revealed by the city or other departments. So as long as the design work not change it too much, we don't need to reveal them. That's my option, so I support additional. And should be not much material to select that.
I have a question. When is inspection? After the installation, after everything's done, or before that? Because once it's done, there's no go come back from there.
Inspections happen multiple times during development. So for, as an example, Mr. Hughes, townhome development, when it came before the planning commission, city council, engineers hadn't looked at the design at all. It was really just looking at the site. The public works looks at it, fire department looks at it for spacing and height, and all those departments condition the approval. Only afterward, after the design is approved of the development, then the engineers, as Ms. Chen, as Commissioner Chen had pointed out, that's when the engineering is looked at to ensure that those buildings can be built safely. Okay. Same process with the RPs. And so, how many inspections do the townhomes go through? Numbers like probably close to over 100, I'd say. In this case, it won't be 100 inspections, but they'll look at the foundation pour. They'll look at how it's how the RP is installed on into the foundation. And then they'll look afterward, probably close to the final one, the access around it too.
Right, I understand. When we were building our multiplex, so the inspection redoes, there's a lot of redo effect after it. So what we are trying is, can we do something before it's done so that there's no redo? Can we gauge the safety, security, or accuracy, all the factors before it's even built? Can we analyze it so that we say, the investment done, that there's no redo? That's my question. Is there any inspection done before before we start building it?
Inspection by
Any engineers or somebody who just can review the safety concern before it's made?
well, so that's, typically you wouldn't make something until it's approved, right? So, so they wouldn't fabricate the RPs until the building permit is issued.
Right. So my concern here is I might not go for an approval because if everything is made and then the inspection is done, it's too late for any redo or redesign. So I will suggest that we have something modified and approved by us, that if there is a comeback possible. Otherwise, we might not even know what happened later. It might be a problem for them later as well. So my suggestion, I'm not sure exactly how we review it, but now that the concern has been flagged, we have to have an action of how we check that this flag has been resolved. That's all.
So Chair Wang, I do have more clarity in my mind, if I may put that on the table.
Please.
Yeah, I would, again, we are still discussing here. Given the discomfort here, I believe we do need to re-review this in the next meeting. And the feedback I would give is address the safety to public regarding the edges and the tips at the lower level. Have the planning department, I assume that's the right one, of the city, review it for safety with the modifications. And then let's get this back in the next meeting for review and approval.
I guess my position before that comment, I'm honestly neutral, right? I think I did share my concerns earlier. I think typically during these presentations, we receive more evidence of technical feasibility. So I think that would be an area, frankly, that's an area that I was expecting more of. And yeah, I'm neutral. I can go.
I have a like to share some. And also this is because it's discussion, evolving viewpoints, and it helps also actually. How I feel now is we can give the conditional approval, ask the staff to review specifically for the caution or the concern we have. But we do bring it back in the May meeting, because then there's no delay. We allow the staff, and we just want to have a final look before it goes into design. And if we feel at that time, so still have concern, that's when there's going to be this work anyhow has to be done, or the safety review has to be done. Some redesign and the safety review will have to be done.
Right. I guess well, it wouldn't be approved then, because if you're bringing it back, it's not approved.
Right.
So we would essentially be bringing back a resolution again for you and a redesign.
Only for those two elements.
Again, so
Yeah.
we wouldn't sign off on a resolution. So what we say is like we would represent kind of like what we did with Jollyman Park that time, right? Jollyman Park, the commission had significant modifications, and we brought it back the following meeting. And then at that time, that's when they approved it. So at this point, the motion would be to bring this back at the May meeting to review the redesign. I don't think at this time the building division would review it for safety or engineering. Because if it's gonna be redesigned, then you have to re-engineer it to accommodate for the redesign. So it's, you know, again, the charge of the commission is to look at the design. Now, if you want to see how it's gonna be placed in the ground, you know, more engineering, I mean,
No,
I mean,
that.
you can ask for it, that's fine. If they have it ready, that's fine too, but you know, I'm not an engineer. And I don't think many commissions are engineers. There's only a few. So, yeah.
But I mean, presumably the applicant has engineers who can put together an engineer.
True,
Not
but
that it needs to come from the city.
that's true. But again, I recommend that this doesn't turn into an engineering meeting where we're debating how this is placed and how it's engineered and improving engineering drawings. Like, well, I kind of want to see it, the foundation 4 feet instead of 3 feet. You know, I think the charge of the commission is to look at the design. If it changes to the design itself, I think that's within the commission's purview to either approve conditionally or bring back at a later date to ensure that the modification to the design is met.
Okay, I was kind of trying.
Yeah.
That it is
I'm with you. I agree with you, John, on the engineering portion, the base and so on. So I appreciate your input there. I think it's the safety part, not on the base, but the edges and the tips that the bigger concern is coming there.
Building and fire don't sign off on the artwork as designed, which would then modify the design, that you would want to relook at the art piece. But otherwise, building and fire may look at design and not determine a safety issue, and then it be processed as currently designed, and with that resolve any other concerns at this point.
A good point. May I ask something technical question there? I think what you just mentioned, the fire and the safety, so the word safety is what we're all a little bit right now focused on. Do they typically look at these elements?
They look at the structural integrity of it. As so much for the pointiness of the structure. I don't know if that's an issue for them, but if it is, they would make a comment on it, and then it would cause modification of the design. And so then if the design changes, that would then be a conversation of, do we bring it, how significant is that change, and do we bring that back?
I understand that. Yeah, but if if it is already going from, if it was to go from Arts and Culture Commission, that please, Mr. Fire Department, look at it. I'm sure they will look at it. Or that we have this concern.
They would look at the building permit review, but they won't look at a building permit until it's been formally submitted and we went process of
Okay,
formal application.
I see.
Until we have the engineer.
I see, they only look at it then.
Fire review is very much backed up.
Yeah, yeah,
Different levels as well.
okay, so it goes through the process. Okay,
If I may, in the interest of time, I'll go out on a limb here. Yes. And I guess to preface that, the reason why I'm being challenging and difficult is because at the end of the day, I feel accountable as a member of the commission for public art pieces that are installed in the city. So I've heard complaints about other pieces that have been installed. From members of the community, so I just want to make sure that we are doing our due diligence as I guess. That's in our mandate by council to thoroughly vet and review any public art proposals that come before us. To make sure that it best serves the community. So that's where all of my questioning is coming from. Is from that lens, not because I don't like the work or not because I'm trying to be difficult. That said, I do feel like we are a bit split as a commission on how to move forward. I think there's two that want to move forward conditionally with an approval conditionally, and two that feel a little bit more on the fence, maybe leaning more towards bringing it back. I guess my proposal is, given I don't think we have a clean unanimous decision as of today. My proposal would be to request the team to bring this back in our May meeting, addressing the specific concerns. And we can detail specific points that we want touched on for an approval then. Thoughts, questions?
Yes, I agree with that. And I'm going to use the example. Would you put a smaller version of this outside our Cupertino library where the dancing children statue is and let children climb on it? I would not. And the lower tip is low enough that one day a kid is going to climb on it and hurt themselves. And it's a beautiful piece with that one safety issue exception, which I believe can be addressed.
Would it help if I gave any if I give what I'm thinking in mind of how we're resolving this for now? So with all the concerns I brought up, I understand. What I was thinking of helping resolve this problem for now is because currently the art piece itself is more vertical on the axis than horizontal. I was thinking maybe of tilting and tilting towards what would be now the left side of the axis. So that way it brings up that limb a bit, and then I can also extend it. And then rather than having the limbs at it like more of a tip, I could round it off because the actual structure itself right now does have more of a, I guess, a triangular shape, a prism shape. I could round that off into more of triangle tip rather than just a sharp like pencil tip. If that helps resolve any questions that you guys had or concerns. Yeah.
it does help.
I think so. So again, in the interest of time,
It's not-
maybe, sorry, please go ahead.
Fortunately, not the.
I think I don't remember if I adjusted this correctly, but yes, what I have listed as the suggested measurements for the base
Yeah.
was a 4x4.
in a way to save,
Yes.
to a high save on that count.
Is it possible to raise the height just in general?
Make a big.
Yes, yeah, that would be possible.
Give it a little more
Um,
appearance. Along with the, I really like your ideas anyhow, because it keeps the concept. It could have been like that to start off with,
Yeah,
concept,
yeah,
abstract.
I see two areas where I could possibly raise the height. One is obviously the pedestal, that one, but that would still, I think, with your concerns, that would still leave a stepping stool, I guess, right? I probably with like this, again, with the concern about the stability of the actual piece itself, the base of the actual where it's standing up on the pedestal will probably widen a bit, and I could also raise that distance like just keep the proportion wise of the base while lifting up the entire height of the sculpture.
Idea, but the question still lingers back that are we approving it with the modifications intended, or do we want to check that the modification suits what the safety concerns we have? That's the question we have.
I think my goal would be to ask you guys to come back during our main meeting.
Sure.
I guess with a concrete proposal, taking into consideration the feedback that we discussed.
Absolutely.
Yes, question. Do we need a motion for this?
Yeah.
Okay, so my suggestion with the motion, can the commission be specific as to what would you like the artist, what modifications you would like the artist to make? Just so as that a decision can be made in the May meeting.
So, feel free to jump in, but I think, the primary one that was mentioned by, the team is to address, potential safety concerns with the sharp tips near the limb. So that could be addressed, a couple of routes, and I guess I would leave the exact execution onto you, after your investigation, but options could include changing the tilt to basically make the point above a point that would be potentially hazardous. The second would be rounding the edges. And then third would be reducing the accessibility of the pedestal to or I don't know how you'd actually go about that, but make it less feasible for someone to step up and I mean, at the end of the day, I think this is a design question, so I mean,
I think that's well put.
it to you. What you think addresses the concern. And then I would also like to see a little bit more evidence on the actual fabrication and construction. So the contractor that you said you plan to work with, Penn Tiger Construction. I'd love to see if you have any examples that you can share of sculptures that they've made. Anything else that we discussed that wasn't captured or insufficiently captured?
Chair Wang, I think the points you mentioned absolutely address some of the discussion here. Maybe we can make a motion on that now.
Okay. Please read the proposed motion.
Okay, what I have for the proposed motion Address potential safety concerns with the sharp tips near the limb by changing the tilt or rounding the edges and reducing the accessibility of the pedestal. And more evidence on the fabrication and construction. And then it's bringing this back to the new meeting.
Yeah. Modification, for clarification, examples, from the selected installed contract.
Yeah.
Mind repeating them?
Examples of, sculptures made by the selected builder contract. Builder. What is it called?
Pentile.
Pen.
Pentile, I think pentile.
Pentile.
Okay, so more evidence on the fabrication and construction. Of sculptures made by the selected builder.
Okay. I'd like to motion what was read by Lindsay.
I can second the motion.
Okay. So we'll do a roll call vote. Commissioner Chen,
Conditional.
Vote.
Yeah.
No?
no. Commissioner Panda,
Yes.
Commissioner Aurora,
Yes.
Vice Chair Lambda,
Yes.
Chair Wang.
Yes.
The motion carries with Commissioner Chen voting.
Okay. Motion will get. All right. Thank you.
Well, for the willingness to change, I really appreciate that.
I know it's not the outcome you wanted, but yeah, yeah, that's fine.
You.
Amelia, thank you for your work. It's a beautiful piece. I think with these modifications, we'll all be satisfied. So looking forward to seeing your presentation again.
Thank you. Looking forward to see you guys again too.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you for your attendance.
Are we free to go? Yeah. Okay.
Is it possible to make a comment on this topic?
It's already been.
Or maybe it's a new agenda item. It's okay, I'll put it in the proposed new agenda. Whenever that's on.
Moving on to the next item on the agenda, subject status update and presentation. The Arts and Culture Commission Subcommittee charged to inventory assets within the city of Cupertino, representing both physical, organizational, and programs related to arts and culture. The recommended action is to receive presentation and provide guidance to subcommittee on next steps. So I have a presentation. Am I allowed to share directly or should I send it to you?
You can share it over Zoom. I sent you a panelist link to your email, so if you just get in there and you can go to Zoom and then share it. You should have received an email.
Oh. Also, sorry, the discussion went a bit long, but.
It was important. We appreciate your
No,
patience.
We'll try to be fast and busy.
I thought the last had ZBs, so I have to be, I've said.
Yeah, last sentence is really short.
Yeah, I rushed here before the door.
Okay, perfect. Go in there, so just share your screen.
Um. So, a couple meetings ago, we established subcommittees. One of the subcommittees was to work on inventorying the art that we have in Cupertino. So this is an update from Gurmeet and myself. As a little bit of background for everyone, this is the powers and functions of our commission. So you'll see point number 5 explicitly says to maintain an inventory of facilities available for related arts and culture activities within the community. So basically, what we're trying to do here is address this function directly. It's already been something that has been charged to us by council. So hopefully they appreciate this effort. And hopefully this is a clear way that we as a commission can help contribute to the city. I want to say thank you so much to Vice Chair Lamba. He did all of the heavy lifting here. Going around the city, documenting over 40 public art installations and taking photos of them. So a tremendous effort. Thank you so much, Vice Chair. Do you want to talk to this slide in the following?
Sure. Thank you, Chair Wang. So between us and Chair Wang, we start this effort. A few comments from me here. Number one, I think we should be really proud in Cupertino to have some really good public art. Now remember, art's in the eye of the beholder, right? The beauty. And some of them, I say, okay, they're kind of meh. And some of them are fantastic, but that's my opinion. Others may have different opinions. So based on the inventory we got from John, initial inventory, we've kind of cleaned it up. The first one is there's a bunch of non-existent installations. There's two that stood out. Apparently, there's a tile wall that's supposed to be there in the Quinlan Center. It's not there. I asked the office there. Nobody could find it. And there's a bunch of murals that are supposed to be at the Whole Foods. Maybe it was the old Whole Foods, but the management came out of the Whole Foods and helped me look around, and we couldn't find it. I've taken high quality photographs of pretty much all these, including any artist attribution plaques. We've also listed other art assets like studios, galleries, and so on. I think a lot of we have talked about the Euphrates Gallery, but there's another gallery, kind of a pseudo gallery, which is our Cupertino Library, has some excellent art displays also. The major issues I've found is very often I could not find a plaque giving the name of the art piece and the artist's name. I did not do a thorough review of requirements, but I believe in our requirements for the developer, I don't think we have listed that as a requirement. It needs to be checked. Either way, we need to address this, in my opinion. Also, some installations do not have convenient public parking nearby. A few examples, the art piece at the Forum, I had to illegally park on the road and quickly run and take a photograph. There is no convenient place to park. Another one is the Apple campus on Tantau, but not, right just north of the visitor center. So only Apple employees are allowed to park there. There is a small sign that you can go in and get a permit. So I did that so that I could park and took a photograph. A last thing, again, these are my opinions. The Emergence, which is a fantastic piece in my, the photograph on the top right, that really stands out. It's steel, but it's got some color. It's got a beautiful theme with butterflies and so on. And the second one, which if you've been to the Cupertino Library, the Dancers and Friends statue, it is so popular with kids. Every kid in Cupertino who comes to the library knows this piece. Let's go to the next page, please. These are just some photographs. I mean, I did not like specifically pick a few, but this tells you there's some beautiful art out there. The top left is next to the Forum. The one next to it is called the Stargazer. It's a little off the beaten path. It's at the Hyatt House on De Anza and 280 intersection. Below that is the Reader. It's also a little hidden, but kids who go to the Cupertino library and inside their, whatever that inside part is, which is open air, this statue is out there. The one in the bottom right, this is the one in the Jollyman Park, the new children's park that was opened out there. The one above that is in the Apple campus. And the one on the right, you've probably seen, it's an intersection of Stevens Creek and Wilk Road. That's about it. I'll hand it back to you, Chair Bank.
Yeah, thank you so much for going out and actually taking these photos and making sure that the art piece still exists. Huge resource for the city. Okay, so these slides are not as nice as Gurmeet's, but I also wanted to touch on a couple of the other items that we've worked on. So tried to inventory like physical studios. So these are spaces that artists can use or students can use to learn art. Yeah, name, address, website. 2 galleries that were mentioned, and then 3 main organizations that came to mind: Cupertino Library Foundation, Felt, Rotary Club. If you can think of any others, I mean, please let us know. We'll add it to the list. But yeah, in essence, that's what we created, was an inventory. Currently, it's a live document, but the idea is perhaps we can maybe every year or so at some cadence, just update it, just to stay up to date on anything art related in our city. Moving on to, I guess, the next topic, I wanted us as a commission to discuss, now that we have this resource, what do we want to do with it, right? How do we want to leverage this information? So this is an app that was released by the city several years ago, Cupertino Art Tour. It's an augmented reality tour, so you can go around the city. It has some public art tagged, and go up to the actual sculpture and learn more about the artist, the construction, the technology, etc. So this is one resource that already exists. It's not up to date, but it exists. And for some inspiration, these are some examples of what other municipalities have done. So the city of Mountain View, they have a public art map on their website. Palo Alto has a public art map / collection on their website. So these are all of the pieces in their collection, and the ones that are, I guess, on display outside have an address. And then the city of Sunnyvale has, in addition to the collection, they also have created physical art walks. So these are like actual pamphlets that they've printed out.
I want to suggest.
Yes. So they've created pamphlets.
Yeah, exactly.
Where community members can pick them up from the art center or city hall and follow them around the city.
Yeah, it's
with
not
a
just
guided tour.
the art, but also exercise.
Exactly.
Combined together, encouraging people go to outdoors.
Exactly. Yeah, so there's a wide range of what I think we can do with this information, or what other cities have done with this information. So, discussion. How do we as a commission want to leverage this information collected? I've jotted a couple of examples here, but I really wanted this to be a discussion. So I'll just read a couple of the ideas so far. Yeah. Publish a public art catalog onto our city website. Update art tour with latest public art. Create a self-guided walking tour map. Create art attribution plaques where missing. I don't know how we would actually execute on that, but Gurmeet, this is in response to your observation. And then 5, I think we should, I'll just jump ahead. I think we should do this regardless of any of the first 4, is reach out to local art studios, galleries and organizations, at least just to like let them know we exist. And in the process, try to learn from them if there's any opportunities that we as a commission can help with, publicity, connecting with city resources, or collaboration. I would argue number 5 is actually part of our core powers and functions as well. What is it? Provide liaison between various art and culture activities. So
It's also a general plan policy,
is it?
using art for economic development.
Oh, okay. So anyway, I'll say
Sorry.
5 regardless, but yeah, what do people think?
Thank you to put everything together. I'm very concerned.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Impressive.
I think having this inventory, I commend both to you, Chair and Vice Chair Lamba, for putting your subcommittee efforts to put this together. I think it's great. In terms of ideas next, my question is going to go to staff. Is how will it be done? So for example, the art tour update, that's the software app. So my question is to the staff, if we chose to do that, how will it actually get done?
Well, it's already done. I mean,
Oh, the new one.
it's there. It's just a
Yeah.
matter of updating it with the pieces that are on there. You can go on right now and get on your phone and
Yes.
it's functional.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of working with IT to supply them with the list. A prior commissioner had done this huge, I don't know if I sent it to the subcommittee, I can't remember. It was like a table with like, it was like paragraphs and paragraphs of information about the artists and stuff. And I think that was just way too, I mean, personally speaking, that was way too long and unneeded. You know, I think it should be very abbreviated, you know, the information on there. But
How's the staff time?
I can work with the IT director to see who on their staff could do this.
Okay,
Because like I said, it's there, it's, you know, the city's already paid for it. I think it's just a matter of inputting the new information.
yeah, okay, thank you for explaining that. So
Yeah.
then, I do have a strong recommendation to include in there, the second one. But also definitely the first one, because that's the website, so why not put it there? So those two at least come to me as something if we can get the help from staff. Yeah, we have to see how we can do it. But yes, those are the ones that I have very, very strong interest that if we can provide that part.
Yeah, I guess, John, just from a staff perspective, can you give us your quick thoughts on 1 through 4, like how feasible they are?
Yeah, I was thinking about it and shoot, let me just have to figure out how to share I have to log in the room, share my screen.
Yeah, we
Darn
can.
it. No, I got it. It's just a matter of me getting onto it. You know, the Arts and Culture Commission already has. So as you know, the Arts and Culture Commission has their own webpage. Within that webpage is there's like child pages, right? Unfortunately, it's not linked through here, but if you type in like, just type in like artist awards in the search bar on the in the webpage. Like that, right? And so you see, ideally what I would do is have something like a child page.
Yeah.
Underneath this,
Yeah,
shows like, and that's something we could do. 3 hours. Honestly, it's so easy now. You could, and we could probably turn that Excel sheet into, if you type in I'm sorry, Chair. If you type into the search bar, do major residential projects. I want to show you an example of, yeah, click on that. So you could do something like this, right? A table like that. Like artists, but instead of just having the art piece, location. And so the table could be like city themed colors like this, kind of consistent throughout, excuse me. And maybe have a link to a photo or whatever else. I mean, those are things I can knock this out in, 3 hours. Honestly, it's super easy to do. So it's nothing that I would think the council needs to weigh in on or whatnot. But I think it's
Yeah.
right. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's easily do. Yeah.
Hey, John,
Yes.
remember when I saw you at the reception, I was talking to the front desk in the city hall?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. So that person I was talking to turned out to be a pretty good art appreciator or something. She showed me a website on the city pages that was created, I believe, for some event this year, which actually has an art map. I'm going to dig it up and send to you. So couple things just on the list that you had mentioned, Chair Wang. So number one, art tour. Number two, the website. Both these assets exist. They need to be updated. And if John, you in your role as a liaison can connect with the IT department and get me introduced, I can kind of guide a little bit on details that may not be clear in the spreadsheet. So, yeah, so my proposal is if we move forward on those two, and I'll dig up the website, it's somewhere in the city pages. It's an update.
I think
yeah, go ahead, please.
I think what we could do, I could check with the city attorney and make sure that maybe the three of us can meet as a subcommittee. If there's any Brown Act violations.
Good point.
And if someone from IT could join, or you just me, and then I could just work with IT.
Okay.
Directions from the subcommittee.
Yeah. Fair enough. Just guide us there, whatever is appropriate. But I'm very happy to interact with whoever, kind of help them decipher the spreadsheet and if there's missing items on both the website and the Art Tour app. And the last thing I wanted to say here was regarding the plaque with artist name and attribution and the name. I think we need to do a review of the requirements, whatever the document is called, and see whether it's listed there or not. I believe it's not. If it's not, then we may want to put this in the agenda for a future meeting and actually vote on amending that document and requiring artist attribution plaque.
I believe the plaques are part of the ordinance already.
Okay.
If we go back, some of these art pieces, like the one at Whole Foods, I believe predates the ordinance. So and I've been required to put a plaque there. Some of them do not predate the ordinance, and they just didn't put a plaque in. And so it'll be a little bit of homework to see which are which. And does your spreadsheet, if I don't recall, does your spreadsheet identify which art pieces have a plaque?
Yes, I have put photographs where there are photographs of the attribution, and then no plaque.
I mean, a real sneaky way to do it is in case those developments come back with a project, and we can always say, part of your conditions of approval is to put a plaque on this art piece that you didn't do it the first time, which has happened, we've done this when they've come in for like building permits. We've noticed that certain things weren't done that were missed, and we've had them go back and whatnot. So I think that helps. Having this, you know, I don't know if I'd make this public as part of like the the chart, but I think, you know, as something that's an internal document we can keep and say, okay, keep track of.
I like your idea.
Back to John, feasibility, oh, I guess you kind of already talked about this one, but what do you think about feasibility of number 3?
Ooh, that would probably take a little bit more staff work. Okay, self guided walking tour map, like an actual pamphlet, like physical.
Someone would have to create content.
Right, yeah.
And may I ask?
Yeah.
Walking tours, so some of these are quite far spread out, right? Are we? That's okay?
Well, so
They're a few miles away from.
maybe as inspiration, so Sunnyvale, I think does it
Yeah.
really, really well.
Yeah.
So they have over here, they have 6 maps actually.
Yeah,
So 6 different
Yeah,
neighborhoods
that's how.
of
it's not-
clusters are. I mean, you're not telling them to literally walk from one end of the city
No,
to
you
the other.
can't, so you.
So maybe, I mean, I
It
can,
is, it is, yeah.
yeah, I can envision maybe like there's a cluster near City Hall
Yeah,
that has a lot of art pieces,
Yeah.
and maybe there's like a little one there. And maybe there's another cluster near Memorial Park, something like that.
yeah. We can even do it in phases.
Yeah, I can take a look, if you can send me that link after the meeting, I can take a look at it and kind of maybe run it by some folks, see what's the feasibility of that. Or if we need to get some type of request money from council as part of it.
Any additional ideas that are not part of this list from the commissioners?
So all of this is like from our direction. Can we have something that people participate from their direction? Like how do we confirm that they have actually seen, learned or felt it? Maybe some contest or some flyer or some event or something where they can be there. Their side.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great point. I would say, as a starting point, all of us as commission members should feel as a liaison between commission and members of the public. So, I mean, feel free to ask anyone in your life,
Sure.
what they think about public art in Cupertino.
Okay.
And if they have any recommendations for how we can make it more accessible, to the community.
Sure. Good idea. Yeah. I'm feeling colder. Is it really little cold? It's very cold.
Once we have the website and the art tour app updated, that's a great launching point to communicate with more people, market it, maybe publish an art tour. Maybe next year we do a art walk day where we publish various art tours and folks go around and have a nice walk. Maybe partnership with the Parks and Rec team. But the route is, let's get the work with the IT team to get these 2 assets updated, and then we can start thinking of brainstorming ideas on how to get the community excited about art in Cupertino.
Love that idea. Okay,
Sorry. Yeah, so actually we can have a fun activity if you have pockets of places where these are located. So when there's any event in library corridor, then we can have a treasure hunt or something with art things so that they actually go and see by a game of play. And if we have something near memorial, maybe when we have the Cherry Festival or Diwali or something, in that way we can have a prize for the treasure hunt. So we can have all these points, have some treasure. People will themselves go instead of we pushing them. So that will be easy and
Yeah.
fun activity.
Absolutely. Even a small check off, and you involve the youth,
Right,
it can be
Right.
easily done.
right.
Very small gifts are enough motivation.
Yeah, the winning feeling itself more than the prize. That means.
I think what a wonderful idea, Commissioner Panda, especially making it part, leveraging existing events like the
Yeah.
Cherry Festival. I think that's a fantastic idea.
Throughout the year, we have so many festivals happening in memorial, in library, and as you mentioned that it just does that, we can just use those ones.
Yeah.
Events, just half an hour, 15 minutes, and children and youth, we can give some prizes. Just run and find these stuffs. So that'll be fun.
And I mean, in terms of execution, I can see this being like relatively low hanging fruit, right? I mean,
Yeah.
literally one of us
Yes.
could put together a one pager,
Yes.
a treasure hunt, give it to an organizer of an
Yes.
existing event.
No, we can organize it for them.
Yes.
Yeah, give us the time slot and on the audience, we can organize and make some fun activity. So that easily done. If you say green, I mean, we can go and suggest this to the organizers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I can tell you there's a next event coming up from Cupertino Rotary, it's the Fall Festival. It's on September, but not in the date of my head, either 9th or 13th, something like that.
yes.
And Cupertino Library Foundation also has several booths there, so either of them we can participate with. As long as we can tell them what we're wanting to do, but they can execute it because they're already at the booth. And we can be also
Right.
volunteer at the booth.
Yeah,
They would love
for
it
sure.
as Arts and Culture Commission.
Right.
But there is an event coming up, if this can be done by then. I think so.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yes.
Maybe we can
Let's
put
do
the
that.
target.
Let's do that. Yes.
Okay.
Perfect. Cool.
Chair, can we go to public comment?
Oh, yes, please. Sorry.
Okay. We have no speakers. Yeah,
No, we have to.
Yes, I'm so sorry. That said, are there any other points of discussion? Where I would like us to conclude is, I guess, a formal motion of how we would like. What we would like to move forward.
Can I make the motion? Yeah, on this topic, right? Yeah, so we can make a motion to use the inventory of the art assets that's been made and presented today. To see if it can be included with staff support for the item number 1 and item number 2.
Mhm.
Can I also make a motion? Oh, but for second, yes. Must be a second.
I second
Uh,
the motion.
Wait, but sorry, Commissioner Ponda, did you have?
And then I'll.
Oh, okay, good. And then, I guess, can I amend to that? That we investigate. Number 3 and. Maybe supplement. Yeah, I would like. For us to investigate those. Investigate the physical.
Are we asking the staff time for? Oh, may I-
Yes, me.
I mean, when I say investigate, I mean, John will give us feedback on if this is something he thinks we can or can't do. So not officially asking for resources now. Or you think it's too ambiguous?
I would personally like to get the first 2 done. And everything else, and you can always ask. I think.
Sure.
You can always ask the staff.
Keep it clean.
So just for clarity, the motion is what we have here on the screen, right, for number 1 and 2? Okay.
Oh, sorry, and we don't need any resources for this, but please, can we also do 5?
Who's doing it?
I mean, anyone. Okay. I'll do it. Okay.
That's fine. You're all doing it, right? As such.
So I guess you're saying, because
You
we
need a
don't
report
need,
on it?
because we don't need resources, we don't have to motion.
No, we have to put it, are you expecting a report back? We definitely don't want to take staff time.
Yeah, no, this is not a
Yes, I want
staff
to be
thing,
very
this is
clear on
us
that.
thing.
Yeah. Staff time is precious.
John is smiling, oh yes.
Thinking out loud,
Yeah.
what I'm thinking about is, for the readouts of this meeting, what are we going to tell council, or what can we say we aligned on during our meeting today?
So then, if, I'll let you make the motion, and then I would ask for an amendment. I'll let you make the motion. What is the
Wait.
So,
So.
connect with local artists?
Everything looks
No,
good.
it's the question,
Okay, okay.
there's no intention.
So yes, I guess I would amend to your previous
Oh,
motion
okay.
and say, to do 1, 2, and 5. With the point that no staff involvement is needed. 5, that's just.
May I ask a clarifying question? Is there a need to add it all? Can there not be a separate motion so that we can leave staff out of it? Are we not allowed to make a separate motion on the same one?
So. Correct if I'm wrong. The motion was made by Commissioner Laura.
Yeah, we had,
Chair added a friendly amendment to add number 5.
yes, it
Okay.
was an amended motion. Yeah, number 5.
And then 5 could be, I mean, I don't think it has to be 2 separate motions. We could probably do it with one motion. The motion with the friendly amendment is to implement 1 and 2. And then that commissioners by the next May meeting, if I'm understanding you correctly, have a list of businesses, art business that relate to the arts. Like a list.
Well, no, we already have the list. This would literally be sending an email to people and being like, hey, like. You just, okay, we can go.
Yeah, I
Fine.
if I could make a recommendation, that's okay through the chair. I think this should be something tangible. There should be a deliverable or something like you want it, like you can point to, like 1 and 2 have that.
I don't feel I don't have a deliverable in mind, so maybe we remove that from.
So we're removing number 5 from the motion? Okay.
May I propose, Chairman Wang, for item number 5, we should have a discussion at a future meeting, more of a brainstorm within the commission, how we can connect and engage with organizations and maybe even select a few, each of us select a few to do an outreach.
Sure, that's something we could put on a future agenda. I think.
Yeah, a time capped discussion, otherwise this could be a very long one too.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second for item number 1 and item number 2. Should we do a vote? Commissioner Chen? Commissioner Panda?
Yes.
Commissioner Aurora?
Yes.
Vice Chair Limba?
Yes.
Chair Wang?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Public future agenda. or?
Okay, thank you all.
We have one more topic, right, Chair?
Yes.
Right?
Um, this should be a quick one. Arts and Culture Commission to discuss special meeting and tour of the Euphra Museum of Art at De Anza College. Recommended action is for commission to discuss and coordinate. Sorry, commission to discuss coordination of event, including date and time. Can I pass it off to Vice Chair?
Yes,
Ver?
thank you. So this is in the category of outreach to local galleries and art businesses. We had discussed this earlier. Euphra is the only public gallery in Cupertino. And I have reached out to the curator and the person who leads that on us as a commission having a tour of that facility and the art that is displayed out there. She replied saying their new exhibit start on May 5th. And the Saturdays that work are either May 9th, 23rd, or 30th. So this would be a formal commission meeting, I believe, like we had done earlier at the Palo Alto Art Center. The difference being this one is actually more relevant because it's our own city's gallery. City's gallery as in our own city has this gallery. Okay. The exhibit at that time will be art by De Anza students. Each exhibit lasts about 2 to 3 months or so. So the action here is to validate whether one of these dates work for all of us or most of us. I believe, John, you may have the honor of being a chaperone again this time. And I want to just ahead of time, thank you so much. This is not, this is on a weekend. You have to go out of your way for this. So may I request if we can look at our calendars for May 9th and see if it works for everybody. That's a Saturday. We can do it at 11 a.m. or so.
I think before we jump into that, is there any?
We have no speakers today.
All right, thank you. Yes, please proceed.
Okay, thank you, Chairman Wang. So can we look at our calendars, please, for May 9th?
I'm actually involved. I think the majority is obviously school.
I'm okay with the 9th.
I'm okay with mine.
So it looks like 4 of us are okay, assuming
Yes.
you are.
Yes, I am. So May 9th, let's target 11 a.m. John, I'll communicate to you so you can, once I have this time confirmed with the curator, Diana Albright, and maybe
Wait.
John. Sorry, go ahead, please.
I thought there are 3 date options.
Yes.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. So,
Yeah.
but if everybody can make it on May 9th, then are we good with that?
Commissioner Aurora was not available.
Oh, my apologies. I could not hear you, Commissioner Arora.
Okay, so
Okay.
yes. I was
So
looking
my
for the
apologies. May 23rd?
Saturday,
23rd.
that is Memorial Day.
That would
That's
be,
Thursday.
the 25th.
20.
What roughly what time of day are we talking?
Probably around 11, but between 11 and 4, I believe they're open.
Which is 3 days, May 9, May 23rd,
No,
One
May
is-
9th, May 23rd, and May 30th.
30. I vote May 30.
It would make
Yeah, both May and 23rd, I'm out of town.
you out of town.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait.
Yeah, I think we made that.
Preference? Okay.
So I'm okay for the other.
Yeah, May
30th is good for me as well. John.
Tentatively. My daughters have swim team. I'm the starter announcer for the swim team. So I got.
Yeah.
I'll make sure. Let me make sure. I'll get back to you on that. But
Okay.
April,
Lydia,
Commissioner Ponda, will
Yes,
you be available on the 30th?
Yeah, I'm available all three, any day that you pick, fine.
Then
It's Saturday.
maybe as a commission, we can say 30th is a preference, but John needs to check his schedule. Then maybe can we align on a secondary date if that doesn't end up working?
I can do 23rd.
23rd, Commissioner Chen, you said you're out of town,
Yeah.
right?
Which is out of town 9th and.
Okay,
From 9, from 8.
then,
8th.
yeah, so as a secondary, let's pencil in the 23rd. Commissioner Chen is not able to attend, but it does look like the rest of the four of us will. Don,
Okay.
do you have any?
Not on the 23rd yet, so I'm checking with the boss right now.
Okay. Thank you.
Monday.
So final, is it only final 30th?
So, I think what we've agreed on is at least from the commissioner standpoint, we prefer the 30th. As our top priority, because I think all five of us commissioners are able to join at the time. John's gonna double check his schedule. If the 30th does not work, then our second preference would be the 23rd, which 4 commissioners will be able to attend.
Sorry, Mr. Toby.
Okay. Do we formally, Lindsay,
Yes.
do we need to motion or are we done?
I think I can just put it as a discussion in the minutes.
It doesn't need.
Alright, thank you all.
We're done, we're done?
No,
No.
moving on to staff and commission reports.
Yeah,
Do we have any reports? So this is a time for staff and any commissioners to share any reports pertaining to the commission's jurisdiction. Staff, have any reports?
None. None other than the possibility of having another development art piece coming in May. Specifically the Summer Hill project on Stevens Creek Boulevard where Pizza Hut is. They're coming in very early on in the process. They don't even have building permits issued yet.
There's a construction in Pizza Hut space,
He's going to be, yes.
or new, demolished and.
Yeah, demolished Fontana, Staples and Pizza Hut,
Oh, what kind of development?
townhomes.
So it's a commercial place, right?
Yeah, they'll demolish that and have nice townhome, no, just have townhomes in there and
Oh,
whatnot.
is it allowed that way? Because commercial to for
Yes.
residential?
Council already approved, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I do have a commissioner's report. Yeah, okay. So I did attend the mayor and commission chairs meeting on March 18th. Because chairman and vice chair Lamba were not available, so they asked me. And I did report on our there were 3 bullet items. One was about the art assets and inventory. And so we got very good feedback. And this was chaired by Mayor Kitty Moore, who's now for this year has taken up as mayorship. So she really commended our commission for that. And she did mention that she would like to see that in the art tour app, if that would be possible.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
that's, so I commend you both for that appreciation. We reported on Artist Awards, we all know, this was a success. We did report that the Bianchi Way Public Art is going to be in front of the commission today as it was. I did add one more thing was because March was declared as the Youth Art Month. Mayor had invited us commissioners to come and attend, and the artists who were awarded through artist program were recognized and brought on the podium and got to take a picture and received appreciation from the mayor. So that was really extra and nice for Arts and Culture Commission. So, yeah. And overall from others, I'm happy to share this, but I think the most remarkable change I saw, or maybe I don't know whether it's going to be every time, but this time, mayor gave a report on what's happening, key things happening in the city. So I thought that was very good, because otherwise the commissioners shared and we got the feedback. But this was also, she had a full prepared presentation with PowerPoints, in fact. And something just a takeaway for us to know, I don't know whether you can do anything about it, but she did say how our city is contributing in a big proportion towards Santa Clara County at the county level from our property taxes. So I think I really commend her for diving so deep into the financials to see how does this all prorate with our earnings and with our role, and what do we get back from the county. So I think she's fighting a really good case for the city. Yeah.
What is she fighting for? Just
For-
curious.
To get more funds from the county for the city.
Oh, okay. For any reason,
Because we
cost, paying
contribute
cost.
so much.
We
to
Yeah.
property
contribute
taxes, we should also
more
get-
Makes,
than many of the other cities.
makes sense, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, that's good. Very good. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's a good champion.
Yeah.
That's what I saw. Other commissions, lots going on, of course. We have a very lively commission group. So yeah, you get really good feedback and inputs, and which is good. That's, everyone's doing their job, so I appreciate that. Thank you. I left the others. Thank you.
Do we have any other commissioner updates?
No.
Okay, moving on to future agenda setting. Any topics that anyone would like to see at a future meeting?
Treasure hunt.
Treasure hunt.
When was that? International some RP festival, usually in summer they have it, in front of library, multicultural festival. Then we can have it. I have to find the date.
I think it was in May.
May, na?
Oh, sorry, it's in May, not May.
It's May, May.
It's in May.
So
Yeah.
that we can connect with them and. Yeah, is it okay if I approach them and to ask them for some time for treasure hunt?
So if it's in May, I don't think, well, just the timing doesn't work out because our next commission meeting is in May. However, you are welcome to, I mean, just like run with it.
Yeah. So it's okay. See, either way is fine. If we can get some time, we can discuss how to use it. If we get the time, I mean, I'm very positive. We'll get, then if it is before or after it, that's no difference. Connect of, I mean, I can tell John and John can tell
Yeah,
everybody.
maybe.
We can
work with
connect
John.
virtually. Yeah, we can see how we can do it. Right? So I'll go ahead and ask the date. Okay.
Any other topics?
Well, I think the topic that you were, we had there on the list, which we couldn't capture in the motion, is engaging more with our community, brainstorming. I think that was the word that was proposed. Let's
There
Thank you,
is
Commissioner Arora. I'd forgotten about that.
yeah, of course. No, and the chair also was trying to give the formulate. And I think it's the right thing to do. It's our role, and let's make it more specific in that meeting. Yeah.
Or how do we want to approach it?
How do you want to approach it? Yeah.
Can we get a second for that?
Second. Oh, and I guess I can second Commissioner Panda's as well earlier.
What was Commissioner Pendo, what was your future agenda item?
I suggested we should have a treasure hunt, treasure hunt event in the future celebrations of Cupertino. And my suggestion was first event that comes to the multicultural festival in library. But I'll try to figure more events. If something comes up, I'll update Joe. Yeah, that's a motion. Second.
Second. Okay, Okay, I think that's it for now. If you have any other ideas, please feel free to just message me, or John, and we can potentially get it on to. Alright, the time is 8:55 PM and I can call this meeting adjourned. Thank you.
We made it, we made it.